Hello everyone, and now welcome to game 2 in this series. Really good game in the first one. I don't want to spoil it for you. Let's just go ahead and move on straight into game 2 here. Lucifer versus Inquisitive Hawk. Lucifer really making a strong comeback so far, but things have gone, I guess, mixed so far based upon what we've seen. We are taking a look at Lucifer coming around down over here. He is spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map as the pink undead. Inquisitive Hawk, or Hawk, spawning on the top right-hand side of the map as the teal human. Now, this Hawk has, I believe, no correlation to the Hawk that was originally part of Vile and Quantic Gaming. Yes, if it is, then I am sorry, but I didn't think you still played WarCraft 3. Anyways, let's take a look at what's going on here. We see an Ultra of Gangs being placed down. Barracks is being placed down as well, as we're now looking onto what type of strategies these players will be going for. Okay, it looks as though there was a little bit of trash talking earlier on. I'm not quite sure what was spoken there. You'll have to see if it was a foreign language of any sort, but I don't think so. I don't quite understand Lucifer's response, but we are now just taking a look at the strategies here and what's going to be happening. You can see that the Acolyte is making his way out across the map, and he's doing what any Acolyte is going to do. He's going to go kill a squirrel, go kill a frog, go kill a sheep or a rabbit or something of that nature, and try to resurrect some skeletons. Now, based upon the positioning, you know that Lucifer here is purposely hiding his Acolyte so that it is not easily spotted. What normally happens is that human players will try and militia creep out the creep camp here at the 3 o'clock location, and once that is creeped out, go ahead and try to set up an expansion with towers. Now, if that is going to really be the strategy here, Lucifer has perhaps jumped the gun a little bit premature, perhaps should have waited until the 2-minute 10-second mark to really make his move. No, he's going to head over here to the 533 creep camp. Acolyte, is he going to kill the sheep? Yes, he does, and now backs away. That sheep will slowly, the flesh will slowly disappear, and then a skeleton will be there as the Death Knight is already on its way over. Now, you have to be careful against these Null Assassins. Generally, all of the units have the same amount of hit points. That is because the amount of poison damage that is being used. None of these militia are really in danger of getting just death clawed in one straight shot, except maybe that one right there. He is going to perhaps be able to, down to 1 hit point. Wow, and a beautiful, a perfect move right there. Wow, Lucifer was able to sneak his way through, get the death coil, and then get the final shot off in right there. Hawk just a little bit laughing on the inside, noticing that the Death Knight was able to slip through right in that position. Alright, Archmage, now sitting at level 2, does have Claws of Attack +6, which will help out tremendously. Is he going to try to go after that No Brute? No, he's going after the Archmage instead, as the Skeletal Minions are now joining in on the fight. Is he just going to attack the No Brute and then... Oh, wait, nope. No experience. Actually, no, I do believe he did get the experience there, as the poor guy is going to make his way back out. Rod of Necromancy is still there. Very well played coming in from both of these sides. Death Knight don't really like sheep, as they want to resurrect them into skeletal warriors. Why not take down a sheep in order to get 2 skeletal minions with swords and shields that will wander their way over? No conservation of mass here in WarCraft 3. As peasants now making their way in. Death Knight now looking to come in, and what is going to be happening here? The Death Knight is just wandering around trying to get a final shot off on this Ogre Magi. The Ogre Magi is at 100 hit points, and he does get the kill. Beautiful pickup there, but the Pendant of Energy goes to the Archmage. Extra mana on that Archmage now. That is going to be a standing Archmage with plenty of mana for those water elementals. You can see there goes another peasant there. Skeletal minions are falling left and right, as the Death Knight just shy of level 2. Archmage just shy of level 3. And this is just turning out to be a very, very interesting game. The Death Knight now tries to make his way over, unable to do so, heading back down over here to the bottom right-hand side. Instead, you can see that there is a peasant... peasants down over here. This one low hit point peasant needs to be careful of the death coil, has to be very, very careful, trying to hide back off to the north. He is going to return back to work, and hopefully not get taken out. Meanwhile, footmen are here standing next to the Fountain of Health, both of them regenerating hit points, but the Death Knight should come out ahead here just because the Death Knight has more hit points. That means that his natural regeneration rate is faster next to this Fountain of Health. All right, the Drake still not woken up yet. The footmen is still giving chase here. You can see skeletal minions trying to find some of these peasants, unable to do so. There goes another minion there as the arcane tower was almost taken out. We can see the Crypt Fiends are starting to do a bit of creeping. The Death Knight will join up on this creeping adventure here. And now we are sitting at level 2 on the Death Knight finally, as the Archmage may try and do a little bit of theatrics onto that Red Drake, hoping to take it down with a single water elemental. All right, there goes the Red Drake. The Red Drake is chasing the Archmage. Archmage now comes back around and now going to be going up against that Red Drake there. All right, the Archmage actually needs to be closer to the Fountain of Health. Not quite sure why it is standing so far out there. As you can see that the Red Drake is now going to get a little bit too close. There you go, the Archmage and the Red Drake finally doing their thing. Archmage, Red Drake. The Red Drake looks like it will be falling here in just a moment. There goes a second water elemental. I do not believe that was necessary at all, as we are looking at a Robe of Magi, that Archmage with plus 18 attack. My goodness. 2 claws of attack plus 6 plus a Robe of Magi, meaning that that Archmage is dealing so much damage, 40 damage per attack. And if the Death Knight is not aware of it, normally that Archmage Fireball isn't very much to be concerned about. But in this particular instance, that Archmage Fireball is actually going to rack up a lot of damage very, very quickly. The Crypt Fiend, already down to 284 hit points, needs to run away once more, as that Archmage still looking very strong and also has very good mana regeneration with the help of the Robe of Magi. That Archmage would normally have 315 mana, 150 extra mana from the Pendant of Energy, or is it 100 mana? You know what? I don't remember. But it doesn't matter. Just know that he has extra mana because of the Robe of Magi and also because of the Pendant of Energy. I believe it's 90 mana off of the Robe of Magi, 15 mana per point of intelligence. And then, yeah, someone will have to double check my math there later. All right, selling the Wand of Mana Stealing. And now what is going to be going on? The Footmen were trying to get a good surround onto the Death Knight. No such luck there, as the Ogre Warrior taking a bit of damage. It will get taken out. No Death Coil Steel coming in at all, as the Archmage is now going to be getting up to level 4. And this level 4 Archmage is very, very dangerous. Tome of Agility, really not worth it. Not the primary attribute at all, as the Archmage runs straight into the Lich's Frost Nova. Archmage now needs to back off after suffering a little bit of damage there. It looks as though the Archmage is going to perhaps regroup and regather himself, perhaps try and make a play inside the main base of Lucifer, as Lucifer does have a little bit of home field advantage. Those Obsidian Statues and Crypt Fiends will be coming in slightly faster than the Footmen from the far side of the map. However, there is an expansion down over here. There's an Arcane Tower and a whole bunch of other towers, making sure that those Skeletal Minions don't really do much. Hawk may end up losing this Water Elemental and giving experience. Yes, he will. This Water Elemental definitely in danger as well, and this is going to give more experience to the Lich and Death Knight. Even though it won't level them up, it is going to get them that much closer, which is going to be a concern for Hawk. Hawk is just now about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way finishing up the Keep upgrade. A Mountain King should be added, but this is where Undead players generally regain their traction. If Lucifer is able to regain his traction and take command of this game here, he is going to be coming away from at least game 2 with a very nice, well, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but a very nice lead. This is a best of 5. Only going to be able to cast for the first 3 games a day, as the Footmen and the Ghouls are now running on the inside. There's a Scroll of Town Portal coming in there. The Water Elemental. There is one poor Footman trapped right there as well. I believe that Footman will end up getting taken down, but by what? I'm not quite sure, as the Archmage is forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away. The Footmen are there absorbing a little bit of Crypt Fiend attacks, waiting for that teleport to come down. All right, this Archmage, is he stuck? I don't believe so. He should perhaps pick up a a Scroll of Regeneration. Has already done that. Needs to also pick up a Scroll of Town Portal. That Archmage is generally a very, very dangerous, very fragile hero who gets focused down rather quickly. The Archmage now making his way over to the Fountain of Health. That would be a good spot for him to regenerate those all-important hit points. Otherwise, he's going to get nuked out by the Death Knight Lich rather quickly. All right, there's the Frost Nova, and there's the final attack there. Another footman goes down as we now see the Pit Lord. The Pit Lord, that third hero coming in from the Undead army. This is looking rather dangerous. The Undead army grabbing that Pit Lord. That Pit Lord can easily rain of fire down. And with that rain of fire, makes it nearly impossible for the peasants to repair. This is also another tactic that the Undead players can use in order to try and beat down a sieging human player. The Pit Lord now makes its way over. Are we going to see another rain of fire? Yes, we are. Another rain of fire right there. Damage being dealt across multiple peasants. And yes, the peasants will get taken down. There's a roar. And this is a very nice use of the obsidian statues, making sure that that Pit Lord has plenty of mana constantly. All right, the obsidian statue very low on hit points. The Scroll Town Portal now coming back into play. The Water Elemental unable to get there to that obsidian statue. That is, obsidian statue is very low on hit points. As we may see it, yes, now turn into a destroyer. There's the Death Coil to try and save it. And that was a 400 hit point Death Coil as the Archmage, Archmage does get saved from a bit of damage as the Pit Lord gets stunned by the Stormbolt of the Mountain King. All right, the Pit Lord now low on mana, needs to figure out what to do here. Meanwhile, the footmen are engaging. Even though they are fighting on Blight, that is perhaps one of the scariest things to do, fight on Blight, as the Pit Lord now heading over to the Fountain of Health, regenerating hit points, and then perhaps going to regenerate some mana back over here by the Obsidian Statue. Death Knight still getting up some mana. Lich has plenty of mana as well. Going to go ahead and take down a couple more peasants here and absorb a bit more damage as well. The Destroyer, once again, using that Devour magic, regenerating hit points, and you can see that the Destroyer over, does it really matter if the Destroyer is over Blight? Does he regenerate hit points faster? It would appear to be that way, since this is only level 1 Unholy Aura, that this one Destroyer, yes, air units do in fact regenerate more hit points. Undead air units in fact regenerate more hit points over Blight. So that is an important thing to note. Footman quickly gets destroyed there. Are we training up a new Acolyte? Yes, we are, as we are now going into some very heavy creeping. All right, what's happening next? Was that a flare? Not exactly sure what happened there. That could have been a flare. Meanwhile, the Ogre Lord suffering a bit of damage. There is a shockwave incoming there as the Ogre Lord is just going after the units. It looks as though, yes, it will get taken down. Medallion of Courage, I believe, is strength and intelligence. Where'd it go? Lich has it. Yeah, it is strength and intelligence, +4 strength, +4 intelligence. Very nice on the Lich. The Lich, a hero that needs more hit points and generally needs a lot of mana as well. That will benefit him, as he also has +12 attack. Archmage still sitting at +18. Mountain King with a lot of mana, transferring the Pendant of Energy over to that Mountain King. He's going to have a lot of mana for Stormbolts, as the Archmage is currently sitting at level 4 with level 2 Brilliance Aura. Robe of Magi +6 again. Is the Archmage going to pick that up? No, it's going to go to the Mountain King, I believe, this time around. And now that Mountain King, one of the smartest Mountain Kings ever, 480 mana. He, even against, poor Paladin, quickly gets taken down, caught on the wrong side of the map, trying to regroup with the rest of his army, as we now see a guard tower in position to make sure that there are no expansions. However, little does he know, his opponent has already set up a necropolis and started haunting a gold mine over here at the 6 o'clock location. This is looking good for Lucifer, though. Lucifer is once again creeping out some very dangerous corners of the map. He should have a lot of very strong items if it wasn't for the fact that the Archmage and the Mountain King already have some very uber items as well. All right, the Acolyte's trying to run and hide. There goes a Stormbolt. It looks as though, yes, that unit will fall once again. That's a lot of Spirit Towers right there. And still no Scroll of Town Portal coming in at all. Water Elemental still being dropped. And with that 28 +6, 34 mana, we could, or 34 intelligence, this Archmage is regenerating mana at a nearly crazy rate. So far, we still see both sides trying to take down this Spirit Tower. That Spirit Tower does, in fact, have fortified armor, meaning that it takes reduced damage here. In comes the Death Knight. Archmage is just going to quickly use a get out of jail free card named Scroll of Town Portal, and not quite sure why he didn't take down the water elemental, as that would have been some easy free experience right before the unit left. Coming back off to the north, the skeletal minions looking to chop down a house. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but trying to destroy a house with a sword and shield, that does take quite a bit of effort. Well, then again, trying to destroy a building with machine gun fire has to be pretty difficult as well. Blizzard heroes and Blizzard units make it look so easy. Here we go next. Pit Lord, Crypt Fiends, Death Knight, Lich. 4-3-2 on the heroes for the Undead. Meanwhile, the human currently has a level 1 paladin with also a robe of magi, so he's going to have plenty of mana. The Mountain King has a pendant of energy, and I believe the Archmage, where is that Archmage? Did I miss him? Oh, there it is. Archmage is sitting right there, also with a robe of magi. Skeletal Minion quickly going to get taken out as the Mountain King, Paladin, all working together here. There are some flying machines for this next engagement. That is a lot of flying machines, in fact. And there is only one destroyer in this group, so that's a little bit of a anomaly there, as we now see that Hawk most likely knows that there is an expansion here because he got sight up onto that high ground. Peasants now heading off to the north. There is a ghoul in position to perhaps clean up some of these peasants if they try to set up an expansion. And yes, that ghoul is going to have a bit of fun, dealing a lot of damage. The peasants going after the ghoul. The peasants actually deal a lot less damage, as the ghoul now needs to be careful. The ghoul is going to regroup with the rest of the army. There's some devour magic as well, as the Pit Lord may be able to rain down some fire and perhaps get some shots off. All right, there you go. The Lich able to get off a shot as well. Very scary on those very low hit point flying machines. If they take a shot from the Lich, -3 armor, meaning that they take about 20% extra damage by all attacks. All right, the Destroyer now trying to engage. There goes some web coming in as well. The flying machine is trying to shoot down that poor Destroyer. The Destroyer now down to 75 hit points. 52, it goes down, as the Spellbreakers are now just pushing through. It looks like Hawk has a very good strategy at this point, just continuing to push their way. Abomination looks like it's doing its job. And Lucifer needs to perhaps make a bit of a power play to finish off his opponent. You can see the Water Elemental now down to 149 hit points, as a large number of Scout Towers and Guard Towers currently being upgraded at the 11 or 12 o'clock expansion location. We're sitting at 2 bases to 2 right now. This expansion has about enough gold for another 7 to 8 minutes. You can see one poor flying machine quickly getting taken down. No, not taken down there, as the Pit Lord still trying to battle it up. All right, there is a couple flying machines getting webbed down, and the Paladin falls for the second time at level 1. Death Coil on the Pit Lord. Yes, I know he's a demon. Somehow he is still playing for the Undead here on this fight, as we are now looking at all of these Guard Towers getting taken down here. Mountain King falls at level 2, and it looks like Hawk is just simply walking over his opponent, or getting walked all over by Lucifer. Lucifer is playing a very strong game, and so far Hawk can't really do anything about this. Hawk trying to salvage some of these buildings. It doesn't look good. It looks like it will be a victory for Lucifer, as Hawk is still scrambling to make a play happen. Scout Tower now taken down. Full masonry upgrades have been completed. Extra 15% hit points. Meanwhile, back down over here, Spellbreakers, Archmage, and looking to come inside and drop a water elemental, but there is the Squirrel Town portal. The Archmage does have one as well. He's going to quickly get out of there. And are they going to drop on the right spot? Oh, what happened here? Cancellation of the Squirrel Town portal? Yeah, it looks like it canceled it somehow. And by canceling the Scroll Town portal, that actually ends up saving. But I didn't know you could. Oh, I guess did you get silenced? No, you shouldn't be able to get silenced. Not quite sure what the strategy was for canceling that Scroll Town portal, as the Archmage, getting up some more mana, needs to get some other heroes in arms, so to speak. The Mountain King and the Paladin should be joining on in. Pit Lord now join in here. You can see 3 abominations. Lucifer looking very strong in this next push. Skeletal Minion quickly taken down by that guard tower here. Mountain King, is it going to be able to do anything of the sort? Mountain King could try to land off a Stormbolt onto a channeling Pit Lord. As we are now looking, see here, Abomination down to 500 hit points. Are we going to see a Death Coil to save it? It looks as though the Mountain King has made his way through. There is a Death Coil on the Abomination to save it there, as the Mountain King falls again at level 2. Hawk is definitely in trouble, but there is plenty of towers here, especially with the fact that there is no siege coming in from Lucifer. Things are still looking okay. All right, there is the Rain of Fire, however, and the Rain of Fire might as well be siege damage, as the peasants are currently unable to repair. Paladin joins in on the fight, and it looks as though, yes, the Abomination will get taken down. There is another Rain of Fire across multiple units here. The guard towers now into the orange, as the Spellbreakers still suffering from a bit of disease from those Abominations. All right, a Holy Light saving a Spellbreaker, but we are still winning or trying to win this war of attrition. Lucifer has a tremendous lead now, but how can he make certain of the deal? The Archmage still launching fireballs back. Lucifer absorbing damage on the Abomination, acting like he really doesn't care. He knows that while he's on Blight, he's going to regenerate hit points rather quickly as well. And just by sitting on Blight, he's actually all right now. Peasants going to go ahead and get taken down again. It looks like more peasants falling. And is this going to end up taking down another peasant somewhere, somehow? So far, 2 guard towers are all that is left. Water Elementals, Crypt Fiends, Paladin once again falls. And this is just going from bad to worse for Inquisitive Hawk. Inquisitive Hawk should get to level 5 here if he was actually able to take down a unit. Has not been able to do so yet, as the Pit Lord is now out of mana. Can the Pit Lord perhaps get enough mana to try and drop another round of Rain of Fire there? It looks as though that is going to be happening. You can see also that the Lich is now backing off, sitting at level 5. The Pit Lord is sitting at level 4. And does he have Cleave or does he have Howl? I don't really know, as the Pit Lord needs to be very, very careful. He cannot engage straight up against all of those Spellbreakers. That mana feedback is going to start to eat into him, and he also wants that mana for those guard towers. The fighting still going on. Crypt Fiends are falling. Water Elementals are falling. Lucifer still looking pretty good here as the Archmage falls. And that should pretty much be it. No more heroes. Hawk says GG as Lucifer easily takes game 2. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.